We've been working with dividing fractions by fractions using models, and today we're going to move from those models into equations where we can, or expressions, where we can do it a little quicker. So now that we know the why and then what it looks like, we're going to move into a quicker method for doing it. There are a couple of vocabulary words that I'd like for you to put in your ISN before we start, and they are the same thing, just two ways of saying it. The first is a multiplicative inverse. That's multiplicative inverse. And the second is reciprocal. They mean the same thing. They mean the same thing. So maybe to put them both together, just knowing that one is the other. When I'm talking in class and in my videos, I will use the word reciprocal. That's the word that I used, and it's just easier to say than multiplicative inverse. They do mean the same thing, so if you see multiplicative inverse, you'll need to know that it means the same thing. So to put them both in your ISN would be a great idea. The reciprocal, or multiplicative inverse, is any number when multiplied by any number you can multiply by a fraction to get 1. And I'll give you an example. Use a little piece of scratch paper here. Okay, so if I multiply 1/2 times 2 over 1, I'm going to get 2 over 2 or 1 whole. Okay, so this number right here is the multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal of 1/2. 1 over 2, the reciprocal is 2 over 1. Okay, so let's do like 4/7. The multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is what I can multiply by to get 1. And that would be flipping the first two numbers. So if I start with 4/7, the multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal is 7/4. If I have 2/3, the multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 3/2. Okay, so you just flip it. All right, so when I talk about reciprocal, it means multiplicative inverse. It's kind of fun to say, but it's kind of a tongue twister also. Okay, let's look at the first example. We could draw a model, and to do that, we would follow the steps in our ISN from a couple lessons ago where we found a common denominator first, and then draw our tape diagram and shade it in and circle it and count our circles. That's wonderful because it shows you the visual. And if that makes sense to you and you can remember to do that, do it. But today in our lesson, tomorrow's activities in class, I want you to use the method that we're doing now so you can get a feel for both before you choose. It's a good idea to see what both look like before you choose. Okay, to do this, we have some steps, and I wrote them out short and sweet. You can add a little detail to yours if you want. The first step is we're going to keep the first number, the dividend. Okay, so we're going to keep it. It stays the same. We're going to find the reciprocal of 2/5, which would be 5/2, and we're going to multiply. So we change our division problem into a multiplication problem. Once we flip, we'll find the reciprocal of the divisor, the second number. So you keep, flip, multiply. Keep, flip, multiply. Okay, here's the steps that I wrote out, and if you want to pause and put them in your ISN, you can. Keep dividend, flip divisor, multiply. Okay, simple enough. Let's multiply. We have 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 2 is 8. 15/8. And we want to make it a mixed number instead of an improper fraction. So it's almost 2, because 16 divided by 8 would be 2. So let's say it's 1 and 7/8. And again, if you can't do that in your head, that's okay. Write it out. 15 divided by 8. Some of our brains are ready for that, some of them aren't, and that's okay. Everybody will get there, just not at the same pace. Same answer. 1 and 7/8. Wow, that was great. Wasn't that great? I love it. So much simpler than drawing 20ths. We would have to draw 20ths, and we'd have to shade in 15 twentieths. And circle in groups of 4 twentieths. Oh boy. 1 and 7/8. Much quicker, much quicker. Let's try example number 2. All right, same idea. I'll put my steps down here. Keep the dividend. Okay. Flip the divisor. Okay. Multiply. Okay. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. We're done. Oh my, that was so much easier. All right, if we do our tape diagram, we'd have to draw in twelfths, and we'd have to shade in 3 twelfths and circle in groups of 8 twelfths. Oh boy. There wouldn't be enough. It would be all confusing. Yeah, okay. Much easier, much quicker this way. If you'd still like the other way, feel free to use it outside of this lesson. But I'm going to go with this one because it's quick. Okay. Here's my steps. I'm going to stick them over here this time. Okay. Keep the dividend. Flip the divisor or find the reciprocal. If you want to put that vocab in there, that's good. I just made it short and sweet. So I flipped it and multiply. End up with 8/9. I don't think that this lesson or this assignment is going to take you very long at all if you have these notes in your ISN and you use them. Awesome. If you do have questions or you're not sure why it works or how it works or what to do in a certain situation, write them in your ISN.